So a shout out to our friends Mark and Raymond. They ended up having these two units along with a parts unit that we brought home. And they gave them to us for free because they know what we do with setting up Power Wheels with them. This one here should work. And it has the lever controls. John wants to try building something similar to a tank or something similar to a zero-turn mower type setup. And this one here is actually rather interesting if it works. The rear end, we've had really good success with these in the past, putting them into Power Wheels. I've shown in several different videos how to make adapters for these in order to put snowblower tires on there. I've actually got a unit over on the side I can show you. And what's interesting about this one that I'd like to retain if we can, is it's actually got a little bit of a front suspension. Now, it's been sitting in a semi-covered tent type environment, one of those Shelter Logic-y type tents, and they've been out there for several years, but they're still in really decent condition. So we're gonna see what we can do. I figure if we can get this running the way it is, shorten this assembly down through, put some sort of seat lower down just over the batteries, or maybe central locate the batteries so that it sits more like a go-kart, something like that. But we'll see what we can do. So the batteries in this thing are shot, but what I wanted to point out was I've got the battery hookups for this one that were set out because those batteries were pulled years ago. And I was figuring I would just throw these onto the lawn tractor batteries, so I came over here and I pulled this one off and went to plug one of these in just for the heck of it, and notice they're different. So if you look there, if I can hold both of these at the same time here. Oh, let me flip that over.
I can hold them for you if you want me to.
There we go. So if you look at these, the two manufacturers have different style plugs. They're not universal across the system. So that's important to go and notice if you're dealing with this kind of stuff. I've actually never gotten my hands on one of these harnesses before, and luckily we've got harnesses in both machines. But it means that if we build one with the harnesses, it won't swap over directly. So that's just something to note if you're doing this. Alright, so we got a couple of lawn tractor batteries in it, as you can see down here underneath. Just a couple of mishmash. And we're going to hit the on here. And it should be on the right hand side, pull to go forward. Let's see what happens, John. Well, that certainly is no speed demon right now. Does it have a go faster? Hold up. Let off. Let off. Wait. I wonder if this dial makes it go faster. Let's turn that all the way to 10 because that's just how we are in this family. Alright, see if that goes faster. Whoa! Okay, that goes significantly faster. Okay. Yeah, go for it. Right down the road. Well, he only weighs about 46 pounds, so I'm going to go with the idea that works. What's interesting is it doesn't actually seem to have an ESC control on it. You pull the pedal and it's all or nothing. Hey John, turn it to 1, hold the pedal down and turn it up to 10 while you're holding it down. Well, put it on 1. Now, hold that down and see if you can turn the knob while you're driving. Yep, you can. So that, okay. So what that tells me, for people watching, is that this acts as an ESC and these are just plain on-off switches. So we'll have to think about that and decide what to do there. Alright, we know this unit works. Do we even have... Yep, we've got a headlight. Got... No, apparently low beam doesn't work.
Oh, it's backlights.
It's backlights?
Yep.
Oh, interesting. It's got backlights. Now, it looks like it has turn signals. So, yep. And, yep. Alright, so the low light here is just running light, and that's the actual high beam for the headlights. And we know that that works. We know that that works. What about the horn? No, no horn. Well, I guess at its age it never gets horny anyway. Alright, well, drive it back and let's throw the batteries in the second machine and see what happens.
What's your second drift?
No, it doesn't drift. Okay, before you kill those batteries, because they're not all that great, let's try the other machine.
Let me put this on one so it doesn't bring better.
Alright, so we got the two batteries into this one. We made sure to flip these levers into the drive position. We've got a tire over here that just refuses to hold air at all. We've tried both slime and the Dawn tricks and stuff. The tube on the inside's definitely gone. So we're gonna fill it up and quickly try and drive it around and not run it to the point we drive the rim into the ground, because I think we can retube this. I just don't have the stuff to do it right now. Alright, go ahead. I don't hear anything.
Is the joystick broken?
So we couldn't get any life out of this controller when it was hooked up, and I went through and I started taking it apart and double checking stuff, and what I discovered was this. If you look right there at that ball, it's actually cracked on one side, and then on the other side the ball at the base is cracked. And after doing a little bit of Googling and research, I found out that that's usually the reason why these fail and they start to act up. So, unfortunately, I'm going to say that that $200 controller is probably done for. And we'll figure out some sort of hot wire for it later on. Alright, so we got one working unit that we now can run around, even if the driver does squeak when she hits a bump. That thing goes pretty good. So the wheelbase on that is exactly center to center 36 inches. We know from building the gas-powered Power Wheel that one of these Ford Raptors is 38 inches. I wonder what the chances are we could manage to go and take parts and put them in this. I'm thinking that we take the stock tires, we remove those, and we put some 16-inch tires on. Maybe do something like these types of tires on the front in order to compensate for the height difference. And we build another Power Wheel creation. And if you're just tuning into the channel, this is the gas-powered Power Wheel that we built a few years back. And there's a whole how-to and everything on this. It's chain drive to a drive shaft that goes in underneath. And then it's got brakes. It's got a shift on the column. Regular race car type stuff. And it's got a 5-speed transmission with reverse in the back. So there we go. We're going to start figuring out what to do for the build as far as this is concerned. But I think an electric Power Wheel with full suspension sounds like a good idea.